So we'll do a music story to start. This is pretty cool. David shares this, and I was not aware of this. But we got a new person outspoken regarding climate change. And it's Anthony Kiedis, the singer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, I gotta be totally honest with you guys. I'm not the biggest Chili Peppers fan. I know it's me. I saw them live. It was incredibly enjoyable live. And it was so awesome to see Flea live. Flea's the bass player. He's, one of the most revered bass players in rock and roll. Deservedly so. He's incredible. I enjoyed the live show. I respect them for what they are. They are in so many ways a groundbreaking band. And I would never try to take them away from them. Just strictly as a listener, a lot of it I find to be, I just don't enjoy it. Like I'm not going to say it's one-dimensional. It certainly isn't. Although, some of their more recent stuff seems to kind of follow the same formula, and the guitar pattern's kind of similar. When there's like a lot of trends with similar guitar patterns, sometimes that stops me from being able to get into a band. I can't get into U2. I just can't. I can't stand U2. And I'm not a big Chili Peppers fan. The Chili Peppers I like and respect a lot more than U2. But I can't get into the Chili Peppers that much. Now, the interesting parallel there is, I'm talking about sometimes when they have similar guitar patterns, I can't get into it. Johnny Marr, very distinct guitar style. Johnny Marr, the Smiths, very distinct guitar style. Very similar guitar style when you break down those songs. And he even explains kind of how he did it, the style of folk that inspired him, how he basically just took this sort of folky style and made it more aggressive and added a little bit of punk and a little bit of melody, and then you have his guitar style. And I freaking love the Smiths. So anyway, all right, nerding out a little too much before getting into this. All right, so Anthony Kiedis, California is on the front lines of the climate crisis. So here's the op-ed itself. California is on the front line of the climate crisis. In 2017, Ventura was hit with the state's then largest wildfire, burning nearly 300,000 acres. In early 2018, 23 people died in the Montecito mudslides. Later in the year, the Camp Fire left the town of Paradise in total ruin, killing 86 people. At the same time, the Woolsey Fire destroyed 1,643 structures, killed 3 people, and prompted the evacuation of more than 295,000 residents. These extreme weather events are going to accelerate if we don't act now. The toll on human life and the environment is unfathomable. These events also come with a monumental price tag. New figures released this week show 2018 global disasters cost $160 billion. A third of that total came from just 4 events in the U.S., with California's Camp Fire being the costliest disaster of 2018 at $16.5 billion. As direct victims of the Woolsey Fire, this is Anthony Kiedis of the Chili Peppers talking, we saw firsthand how extreme weather events disproportionately impact low-income residents. We launched the Malibu Foundation to provide emergency relief assistance to people in need. That's good. And here's an important quote here. Since our federal government is failing us, we must rely on our state and local governments to lead the charge. I think that this quote is a very important one as far as the contemporary situation we're faced with. Our federal government is failing us, and we must rely on our state and local governments to lead the charge. But let's continue and finish up this op-ed. On Sunday, the Malibu Foundation and the Climate Mobilization are bringing together artists, climate experts, and victims of the recent wildfires to call on the state of California and its cities to pass legislation declaring a climate emergency, an all-out effort to transition society and the economy at rapid speed. State Senator Henry Stern is expected to respond by announcing a resolution endorsing a declaration of climate emergency for the state of California. If passed, this resolution will urgently address the threat of climate change in an aggressive way. It will call on the state to drastically reduce greenhouse gas emissions towards zero net emissions, quickly adopt resilience and adaptation strategies, put vulnerable communities at the forefront of climate mobilization efforts, transition from industrial agriculture to regenerative farming, and overhaul the transportation system, among other things. Well, I look forward to watching this unfold. And, I salute Anthony Kiedis for writing this. I hope that this is my first time hearing about his organization, so I don't know anything about the organization other than what I just read. I certainly hope that Anthony Kiedis is in the Susan Sarandon camp and not in the Bono camp. What I mean by that is that Susan Sarandon is a genuine environmentalist who genuinely fights for these issues. I hope that is Anthony Kiedis as well. I hope he's not in the Bono camp. Bono is a neoliberal opportunist, and his organization is a scam for his own tax benefits. So I hope Anthony Kiedis isn't a Bono. Is he? I have no idea. I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say no, he's not. And I certainly hope that's the guy. I have no reason to believe otherwise. I have no reason to believe that he is. I just, like I'm saying, I don't know. But so hopefully this is a good effort. It sounds like a good effort, and I look forward to watching it unfold. Oh, and I made a really bad Red Hot Chili Peppers joke once that I thought was funny because I was hammered. I was at a party, and it was a dinner party, so it wasn't like a party. It was like everyone's seated at dinner. But we were drinking, so, and I had more than I realized, and I was I was kind of drunk, and Californication came on by Red Hot Chili Peppers. We had music on in the background. Personally, not a fan of that song. Doesn't do much for me. But that song came on, and I was like, hey, does anybody know where the Red Hot Chili Peppers are from? They don't tell you in every song. Nobody laughed. I mean, like, one person laughed politely because they felt bad for me. It wasn't even my fiance. It was somebody else. But I thought it's not funny. It's dumb. But they do mention California constantly. Like, they mention California constantly. So I just thought it was, hey, does anyone happen to know where they're from? I have no idea. They're from, like, Connecticut, right? Anyway. Fun fact. And, yeah, good on him for writing this. I hope the organization's awesome. And if it is, hopefully they pave some ground, because that's a great mission statement, and I'm all for it. And I look forward to watching this unfold. And, David, thank you for sharing.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and